What is up, the world of the living? My name is Loix and welcome back to Truly Bedrock. Friends, in the last episode we specifically spent several hours farming up spruce wood to restock the old store, and wouldn't you know it, it's already been bought out. Yep. Judging by the way the diamonds are arranged in here, this is once again what has been Prowl, and yeah, the guy's certainly dead set on buying us out, meaning that no matter how much I grind, no matter how much I do stuff during the live streams, he'll just come over and buy us out because diamonds are easier to get to than wood. Yeah, I heard myself, I know what I said, and I mean it. Diamonds, you just kinda dig in the ground for. Wood, you have to like farm and stuff. So, here's the situation. I have introduced warped stems and crimson stems as things that you can now sell and buy at the old store. So I'm hoping that people will jump onto that, and maybe that will give us a little bit of an edge, because I'm pretty sure Prowl only plans on selling the overworld kind of wood. At the same time, I also introduced shroom lights into the mix. And Groova said that 16 shroom lights per diamond is a pretty fair price. I don't think so myself, but at the very least that leaves me a really nice scapegoat in case everybody says that, you know, that is a little bit too expensive. Meaning that it's just Groova's fault and I don't really care. But the point still stands though. We cannot continue doing basically occasional fixes for a systematic problem. Systematic problem being that Prowl keeps buying us out. Occasional fixes being just grinding for particular types of wood. We need a systemic solution for systemic problems, because that's how problems work. If something keeps happening, you can't just fix it once, you have to keep fixing it. And the systemic solution to being bought out of wood would be to get ourselves a wood farm. So let's go right now all the way back to the Nether, where we already have a Basalt Farm, and see if we can force it into becoming a wood one also. Transition! So please add actual transition in the edit or something like that. Crying out loud, we can't just keep stitching the videos together without any actual effort put into them. It is a Basalt Farm that is entirely fully automated because it uses a GHAST powered blast chamber, and yeah, the GHAST is not home anymore. So basically, what my detective senses have been telling me is that, well, while I was AFKing up here, instead of, you know, just sitting there, GHAST was shooting clearly at me. But instead of shooting at me, it accidentally shot a slime that spawned within the cage with the GHAST and jumped in the way, and the blast force killed that magma slime and also the GHAST itself. Meaning that, yeah, unfortunately Grum the Third went pretty much the exact same way as Grum the First and the Second. But at the very least, on his way down there, Grum the Third produced 2.5 double chests of basalt. So Grum the Third was ultimately more useful than his predecessors. Point being though that we are out of a GHAST and we need another one. Also, this farm did not revolutionize any redstone. EFO has been making, in fact that's the entire point, that's the entire reason as to why I got this idea to use ghasts for a blast chamber for Basalt Farm, is because EFO has been at one point making a mushroom farm using ghast fireballs, like big mushroom, you know, the big mushrooms, and he failed. Point being, we're out of a ghast and we need another one, or maybe a couple even, just, you know, to use one on the Basalt Farm, maybe use a couple on the tree farms, maybe do something else, I don't know. Ghasts are a cool thing, and they're great, and I love them, and I want to have a lot of them. Meaning that we cannot just run back and forth, hoping that a ghast will spawn inside of that chamber. And, I mean, we can, and I've been doing this for like half an hour now, and the ghast refuses to spawn. So, let's go and try and make an actual ghast farm. That will be exciting, right? The science of it is actually pretty solid, because ghasts can now spawn in the basalt, not in the basalt deltas, well, in basalt deltas also. But mostly and more frequently, it feels at the very least, ghasts spawn within the soul sand valleys. And I already have a bone farm in Soul Sand Valley, one that I actually scrapped midway, because we discovered that there's a much nicer spot for a bone farm nearby. So, today we'll be taking this bone farm, which works on scaring the Skellybobs away using the doggos. Or rather, it would work if I would be able to land on the FK platform. And instead of using it to farm skeletons, we'll be using it to grab and capture and enslave ghasts. Also, the doggos will still come in handy, by the way. So yeah, let's take a look at that. I love watching the skeletons fall and despawn. So here's the plan, buckaroos. Here's the big schemo. Here's how we're gonna rob this ghast train. We got the doggos, right? And we got the platforms. So we got 4 or 5 or 7 or whatever platforms, all dispersed to, like, basically, you know, 2 blocks away from one another. That was specifically done to prevent ghasts from spawning. Instead, we're gonna remove every other platform, making platforms that are 5 apart, which happens to be exactly, that's right, my papa, exactly the amount of space that a ghast needs to spawn. Ghasts need, as far as I know, 5 by 5 by 5, and you know, flat areas. So the problem though is gonna be that skeletons will be constantly occupying the mob cap and you know, stealing away spawning spaces from our treasured ghasts. That problem we're gonna be solving by scaring them away with doggos, which is why, once again, doggos are still very incredibly necessary for this farm to work. So at first, what I want to do is I want to basically just clear out the platforms, see how that works, and if it does, and if we see a couple of ghasts spawning and flying away, that's when we're gonna create a secondary circuit of some sort, I have no idea what sort yet, that will capture ghasts before they can fly away. Or, hey, at the very least, even if we just have a box, even if we just build a box around in which ghasts will spawn and unable to escape from, even then it's gonna be quite a bonus, quite a new thing. Also, we need to actually put something very special together that I've been told by my comment section about the Skellybob farm, and that is, we actually need to not just put buttons down, we need to actually give skeletons somewhere to go, because that way they will be pathfinding there, and that way they will be falling more frequently and more happily, even if in reality they will never be able to reach, or if, you know, on those blocks they won't be able to stand. Thanks for that, you prick! Yeesh. Okay, here we have 3 spawning platforms, and something actually tells me that we don't have a 5 by 5 on them anywhere. But then again, the skeletons aren't spawning either, so I'm currently questioning quite a bit. Grua, you are the only other person online. What are you doing at the moment? Tell me. What are your secrets? That you are hogging the mob cap like this. Then again, I'm pretty sure the mob cap on Bedrock Edition is way too wonky for that to work exactly the way I anticipated it to. So maybe it's just that we have the doggos all too frequently or whatever. Okay, let's give it another go. Yeah, pro tip, if you're AFKing at a farm, you know, that creates ghasts, turns out you don't even have to look at the screen. Don't worry, once the farm works, you will be notified by the unmistakable screech and the sound of explosion. One way or another, yeah, the spawn algorithm seems to have been untangled. And yeah, look, that skeleton that we placed, that we actually given a place to pathfind to, that guy just went and disappeared. And hey, I got spawned right after. So we are golden. Now I just want to expand these spawning platforms, disperse the wolves a little bit further away from one another, so that they can cover more, you know, more flatness, more space. And we need to come up with some way of grabbing the ghasts and delivering them where I want them to be. which will be quite an issue because I don't necessarily have any resources for a flying machine, which is how I would guess you want to do that. And then I fell in lava and died with all of my stuff. Except for the netherite tools, yeah, those survived. Elytra probably didn't though. You know, wouldn't be so upset over it, not really, if I didn't also own half a shulker box of fire resistance potions. And I can't even pick this up rather fastly, because I don't have any tools on me. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Let's go back, let's buy some fireworks from Prowl, little big fire. Look at that, look at him. This is where I entered the lava, that is apparently where I left it. Meaning that ultimately I did fly through lava quite a bit. And if it just like allowed me to fly, oh no, fly upwards, then I could have just survived this entire time. Also, I didn't grab a ender chest with me. That's not good. That's a very not good. And here we go, making a cage for the ghasts to not be able to fly out of. Making it of quartz because lava incident, I lost my ender chest. Because of course I lost my ender chest. And oh poopy, I just realized, if we're gonna be pulling the ghasts out of here using minecarts, all my iron was also in the ender chest. So that's gonna be a lengthy trip back into the, you know, civilization. Look, I wouldn't be so upset over this. And so, you know, distraught. If I didn't have to take a giant, you know, 10 minutes trip, even on firework rockets. It's an incredibly long trip to go back to my area. So, you know, before we do any of that, let's just take a look at that and let's let it function for a while. He says, having entirely forgotten to add skeleton scaring dogs to half of the platforms. Yep. Hey look! There's a ghast! And it instantly flies off, yeah. Thank you for that. Cage complete, and the chest grabbed. Turned out I had just one spare sitting around in the ship back at home. Okay, just land. Just freaking land! Ah, damn it. Ah, damn it! Okay, yeah, I do need a better platform for landing on. But at the moment, yeah, it seems like other than that one skeleton being a little bit confused about the entire situation, we're doing pretty great. And there he goes. So, yeah. We're doing pretty great. We just have to get some ghasts spawning and stuck in there. I'm pretty sure I even have some name tags sitting around. Yep, there they are. And I got a whole shulker box of iron. So we can make rails. Or we could, if I had any wood on me. Crying out loud, why do I do this to myself? Why do I do this to myself? Please tell me that this one has... Nope, no wood in here either. Okay! I guess we're going lumberjacking. You know, just in a moment. I gotta check out these skeletons walking off to the... And there we go! There's a ghast! Love it! Love it! Oh crap! Oh crap! He figured it out! Everybody run! Dear future ghast. This here is what I'm trying to get you to do. Kind of self-defeating this entire project, isn't it? And now the server crashed. Okay. I'm calling it now. Episode's just cursed. The entire episode. Actually, probably the whole server. Yep. Now, this would be a right place to remind you people that this is not a ghast farm. This is a ghast catcher. So we won't be necessarily killing the ghasts, we will be putting them and packing them back in nice little boxes and nice little minecarts, and then transporting them to wherever it is we want them. So here's how I was thinking of doing that. We got a ghast down there, and we got a railway all the way to that ghast. So let's see what happens if it hits him. Aha. Okay, now the ghast in the prime position. Now the ghast absolutely has to get... Or not? Okay, now it is actually on the ground. I can see it being on the ground. There we go! Oh my lord! We got him! 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 Just a little bit of damage. Go away! Go away! Go away! Go away! Go away! It's fine! It's fine! It's fine! It's fine! It's fine! Did it despawn? Nope, it did not. I've renamed it. I've renamed it! And I can't move it now because it is occupying my AFK spot. But you get this concept! It is working! We got it! We can grab ghasts from down there now. And if this place wasn't so flippin' forever away from every single potential place where I would want a ghast, then this would be great news. Unfortunately, this entire setup is like 200 blocks. 500 blocks actually. Yeah, it's 500 blocks away from my actual base. And it's several dozens of thousands of blocks away from any overworld settlement. So you can see how this is a little bit of a whoopsie doodle. Oh, but we got the concept nailed. We got the concept nailed down. We got the stuff figured out. We will be able to put this into something greater. I just have to kind of nudge this guy back in and hope for the best. Because, yeah, ow, my face. I don't really need it sabotaging my shulker boxes. No, go away. Go away, bud. Go away, Grom. Grom the Fourth, I do not want you anywhere here. And really, to think about it, there's no reason as to why I can't make my wood or basalt or whatever farm out here as opposed to, you know, in the overworld or at my base. Now, a wood farm might actually require some water, which is why I would want to put it into the overworld. But even that is not necessarily something that's that special. I'm pretty sure we can put together a farm for trees that doesn't use water whatsoever. We just have to use more hoppers for it or something like that. Whoop! But all of that, unfortunately, is redstone beyond my knowledge at the moment. So I'm thinking that that's gonna be it for today's episode. Yeah, I know the last couple have been quite a bit shorter than the rest, but that I think is a side effect of my schedule being 3 videos per week, as opposed to 2. And really, with the amount of stuff I'm trying to get done, I might need some more time between the vids. Or maybe it would be a good idea to pull out a friend and get that friend to help me with whatever it is I'm doing this time around. So next time, hopefully I'll get either Silent or Gruva or somebody who's knowledgeable in tree farms to put together a proper tree farmy for the Nether Woods, or at the very least for the overworld ones, using a ghast blast chamber. I already showed the video of the ghast chamber to both of them, and yep, both Silent and Gruva were very impressed and very happy that I figured that out. Now, it really is just a piston tape connecting a tree to the thing. How bad can that be? That's a trick question. I already tried making one and it failed miserably. To be completely honest, tree farms are super horrible and super hard to make. So, let's get somebody else to figure it out for us. But that's gonna be it for today. Thank you everybody so much for watching. This has been SloyXP. We got a ghast catcher, and an automatic one at that. To be continued. Have a good one. Bye bye.